So as I've been saying in all the other classes this week, we are working with a very particular breathing practice, the 9 breath cycle, which we'll start with again today, but then we'll save a different breathing practice until the end of the class. And then we've been working through the Pawanmuktasana series, this very old series of pretty generally speaking energy blockage release sequences, Pawanmuktasana. And yesterday we did series 2, and today we're going to do a little bit of 1, and then we're going to come on to the 3rd series. I like to mix them up a little bit. So if you'd like to come to an easy seat of your choice, as always, you could be on a chair, you could be on the floor, anywhere that you're able to sit comfortably and feel a certain release down through the base of your body and a softness in the upper body, so you're not working too hard to sit up straight, but you can allow your shoulders to drop away from the ears. You might like to bring the tips of your thumbs and forefingers together. Incidentally, this mudra, chin mudra, symbolizes the relationship between our small selves, our individuality, if you like, and the greater universe, the greater self, the greater whole. So it's just a nice little reminder of that connection, which is pretty much the main definition of what yoga is anyway. So if you'd like to close your eyes or take your gaze softly down. And take a few moments to arrive. I don't mean shut out your day. You might want to spend a few moments reflecting on the way in which your body and mind hold your day at the moment. All sorts of residues, all sorts of noise, all sorts of sensations. Welcome it all in. And as you welcome everything in, really noticing what it is to be present right now. What are you present to? Beginning to notice the very base of your body. There's a real weight to the base of the body, a sense of being very rooted, rock-like, to the floor or to the chair. So can you really feel into that weight? Feel into that connection with whatever surface is beneath you. And feel into the soles of your feet and your lower legs, your upper legs, and your buttocks and sitting bones. And taking a moment to trace your spine up from the very base of your spine all the way to the top, right into the center of your skull. And this is without an expectation of complete straightness. If anything, can you breathe space in between the vertebrae? To create a sense of buoyancy, of grace. And notice that as you begin to breathe space between the vertebrae, that maybe your belly becomes a little bit softer. Maybe you notice an opening across the chest, across the collarbones, And a melting of your shoulders just a little bit away from the ears. And then coming to sensations in the face itself and in the rest of the head. Not taking anything for granted at all. What do you feel? Can you feel the temperature of the air on your skin? Can you feel your lips meeting? Your eyelids meeting? Your cheekbones? And the sensation of air moving in and out of your nostrils. Taking a few moments to really relish the simple sensation of the breath in the nostrils and in the way it moves your body. Noticing as if for the first time. And as you sit here for a little while longer, welcoming in your day, welcoming in sensations and the breath, take a moment to expand your attention just a little way outside your body. So you become attentive as a witness to yourself sitting here, feeling, sensing, breathing. And as you observe yourself, do you know what's brought you to the mat this afternoon? Do you know what you most need this afternoon? And another way of asking that question, something that Will has been working a lot with us all about recently, is what is the quality you'd like to take into the rest of your day and maybe over into tomorrow? And what would it be like to bring that quality into the yoga practice right now? Don't need to wait for it. It can be here right now. And then if you'd like to join me chanting the mantra Om 3 times, if this isn't something that you like to do, you could just listen, you could block your ears, you could whisper the mantra inside. Breathing in fully. Breathing in again. When you're ready, your rhythm. Spending a couple of moments simply noticing how you feel, noticing the breath. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes, and we'll come to our cycle of 9 breaths. So if you are cross-legged, you might want to change the cross of your legs, you might not. I'm not going to, but make yourself comfortable. And I hope you don't mind repeating this practice every day. I personally love it. You're bringing your thumbs across the base of the fingers and lightly wrapping your fingers around the thumbs, and then allowing your hands to rest lightly on your legs. So you're quite relaxed in the upper body. You can wriggle around a little bit. And just for a few breaths, closing the eyes again to return to focusing on the stream of a natural breath. I just want you to notice if you find that you're able to feel the air in the nostrils, all the way to the back of the nose, down to the back of the throat and the chest and the belly. And then tracing it out again. And sometimes the more we notice, the more we steady the breath. We become very intimate with its rhythm. And you can ask yourselves various questions about the quality of the breath, like, do you feel that your inhalation is more dominant than your exhalation? Or is your exhalation more dominant? Or maybe you don't notice any difference between the two. And do you maybe notice that your breath is steady and fluid, liquid? Or does it feel a bit jaggedy? Is there some obstruction to the breath? Maybe you feel clearer in the right nostril than the left nostril, or the other way round. So with this awareness, this alertness to the quality of your breath, very awake, release the forefinger of the right hand and bring it up close to the right nostril, making sure you're nice and open on the right side of the ribs. And take a full, steady breath in through both nostrils. Soften the belly to receive the breath. And then closing the right nostril, breathe through the left. And then release the right nostril and breathe again and really feel the softness of the edges of your diaphragm. Close the right nostril, breathing out through the left. Without force. And then one more time, breathing in through both. Receive the breath with a soft abdomen. And then closing the right nostril, breathe out, steady through the left. And release your right hand down. And taking a normal breath in and out in between. And then releasing your left forefinger and bringing it up close to the left nostril. And taking a full breath in, lovely and steady and soft. And at the top, closing the left nostril and breathe out, smooth and steady through the right. And then breathe in through both. Closing the left and breathing out through the right. One more time, breathing in steady and full through both. Close the left and breathe out through the right. And release your left hand down. Taking a breath in and out through both nostrils. And now really noticing, take a full breath in through both nostrils, really softening in the edges of your diaphragm. And exhale steadily through both nostrils. Watching the end of the exhalation fade away. And then breathing in again fully. And breathing out. Feeling any residual tension leaving you on this exhalation. And then last time breathing in. So spacious in the skull now, and breathing out fully. And then opening your eyes. And as you breathe in, beginning to straighten the left arm, pushing into that left hand. And exhale, come over to the right, feeling into the left hip, side waist. And then breathing in, come up to the top. Straightening your right elbow, pushing into that right hand, breathe out, come down to the left. Moving with a full exhalation. And then breathing in up to the top. Pressing into the left hand, breathe out to the right. Breathing into the top. Be very conscious of every millimetre of your movement and breathe out, come down to the left. And then breathing into the top. Last time, breathing out to the right, really pushing into that left leg. And breathing into the top. And breathing out, coming down to the left. And then breathing in, come to the top. And breathe out here. This is the time when we make a bit of noise again. So take a breath in, full breath in. We're going to take 3 more. You shake the whole body as you come down and sigh with an open mouth, breathing in. You can feel your cheeks wobbling. 2 more, breathing in. Shake it all out. 1 more, breathing in. And then now as you breathe in and come up, release your palms so they're facing up. And maybe close your eyes. Maybe the tips of your thumbs and forefingers back together in Chin Mudra. Symbolizing the connection between the individual self and the expansiveness of the universe, of consciousness. And taking a moment to see how you feel now. Taking a moment to notice everything. And then when you come to opening your eyes, we'll stay a little bit longer seated as we take a few parts of Pawanmuktasana 1. So make sure you're comfortable. I am now going to change the cross of my legs. You might like to move around a bit, sit yourself back down again. And I feel like starting with the neck. I hope that resonates with you. Never know. So just keeping your hands down on your legs. Again, you could still be in your chair if you're in a chair. And take a full breath in and really notice, like we did before, I'm breathing in space into all the vertebrae, all the way out through the top of your skull. And then as you breathe out, very gently, very consciously, bring your chin in towards your chest and notice what goes on at the top of your back. And this time breathing in and maybe taking your chin up a little bit to open the neck, but not too much. And then breathing out, coming all the way down. Breathing in, lifting up. So less is more with this kind of movement. Not in a hurry, nowhere to go. Breathing out, coming all the way down. Breathing in, coming up. Maybe you feel a little bit of a stretch under your chin here. And breathing out, coming down. And we'll take 1 more. Breathing in, coming up. And breathing out, coming down. And gently lifting your head back to neutral. Simply observing the effects of this such a simple movement with the neck. And then we'll take this to the side. So take a breath in and again find that length, that space. And as you breathe out, bring your right ear and right shoulder towards each other. Maybe you look up to the left. And then you breathe in, you release back to neutral. And then left shoulder to left ear, maybe you look up to the right. Breathe into neutral. Breathing out right shoulder to right ear, look up to the left. Breathe into the center. Breathe out left ear to left shoulder, look out to the right. And continue a few more rounds in your own time. Feeling into the sides of the neck, any tension you have there. You must all have tension in the neck. I don't believe it's just me. And then making the round, you're on the last one. So once to the right and once to the left. And then coming back to neutral. And then inhaling, lifting up your right arm. And as you exhale, take the hand to the left ear and very gently, without yanking, draw your head over to the right. And it's fine here to find the right angle. You might want to move around a little bit with the head. I find great comfort in having my hand over my ear for some reason. And maybe drop a little bit into the left shoulder, so you're creating a little bit more space for all these muscles that connect the head to the upper body. They work so hard if you think about it. Think about the weight of the head and how we need to keep it upright most of the time. And then gently releasing, very gently, drop the right hand down. And take a breath in to lift the left arm up. Exhale, bring it to the right ear and very gently come over to the left. And again, find the right position for you. Might want to drop a little bit in this right shoulder. Might want to move the head a little bit to find where the sensation is best and breathe into it. Feels so good. At least it does to me. And then breathing in, release, come back to the center. And take a full breath in and out as you feel. It can feel quite nice to lighten up the head and the neck, I find, especially in the mid-afternoon. And then take a breath in. And as you breathe out, use your eyes to look right over your right shoulder. Look how far you can go. So your eye muscles are getting a good working as well. And then breathe in, come to the center. And leading with your eyes, breathe out, twist to the left. And I'll leave you to take a few rounds. Please try and synchronize the breath in with coming forwards, the breath out with twisting to one side. Nothing more complicated than that. I don't know why that feels so good. Really aware of the sensation of air on your skin and around your head. Connection between your head, neck, and the rest of your body. So much we take for granted. And looking once more over to the right and once more over to the left before you come back to neutral to feel the body. And we'll take one more from series 1, Pawanmuktasana, before we come to series 3. So this is for Liz, who I haven't said hello to in ages, even though she's our neighbour. So I hope you like this, Liz. Lots of love to you and to Karen. Bringing your fingertips to your shoulders. Beginning to gently circle with the elbows. So taking really tiny circles to begin with. Feeling into the shoulder joints, shoulder sockets, and you might begin to Take slightly bigger circles. So what we're looking for here is to not only feel the arm bones circling in the shoulder sockets, but to feel the rest of the bones and the muscles of the shoulder girdle, the shoulder complex. So you might feel your shoulder blades lifting and then sliding down the spine on your back. And eventually, this will completely depend on you. Maybe your elbows meet at the front. And maybe as you come back, you really squeeze the shoulder blades together and down the spine. So if you've been working at a computer this morning like I have, this is just great. And it's also really, really good for expanding the breath. See what the inhale feels like as you really feel into the armpits and the sides of the ribs, and the exhale as you come down. And consciously deepen the breath a little. And then slowing that down, slowing those circles down before we take them in the opposite direction. So when you're ready, starting in the opposite direction with little tiny circles. So this is all about familiarizing yourself with your skin, your muscles, your bones and joints. And coming to take larger circles whenever you want. This is what's great about this simple series, is that it really reintroduces us, it refamiliarizes ourselves with our bodies. And maybe we don't all need that, but most of us do. Most of us live a little way away from our bodies. It's a particular character from a James Joyce novel that Will always quotes who says that. Can't remember who it is. Will's shouting from upstairs, but I can't hear him. Mr. Duffy. Mr. Duffy lived a little way away from his body. So we're trying to come right back into our bodies, and probably by now you're taking quite big circles. Maybe your elbows are touching, maybe your shoulder blades are coming together and sliding down the spine, and then slowing it down, and taking a moment to feel the body now. You might want to close your eyes, palms down or up. And just notice where the sensation is and come back to the quality of your breath, maybe your intention if you chose one. And then we're moving on to series 3, which is specifically called an energy block release sequence, but all of them really are doing that. But this is of a particular kind. You might feel a little bit like you're in kindergarten for this, but maybe that's a good thing. So you're coming to sitting with as straight a back as possible. It'd be okay to bend your knees a little. I don't really think you want to be sitting on a block for this, but you could sit on a blanket. And bringing your hands out in front of you. So we're going to imagine we've got, we're rowing a boat. You could choose a lake or a river, maybe the sea of your choice. And we're going to stretch forwards on the inhale, reaching with the oar. And then slowly and consciously exhale back to vertical, and then continue the exhale back to 45 degrees. And then inhale, come forwards, reaching as far as you can, and exhale back to vertical, and continue the exhale back about 45 degrees. And keep going. Inhale, reaching. Exhale back halfway, and then back 45 degrees. So you're engaging your abdominal muscles. Let's do 5 more. Inhale and reach. Exhale, exhale. Inhale and reach. If you need to bend your knees, please do. Don't risk hurting your lower back. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, halfway. Exhale. Feel your abdomen. 2 more. Inhale. Reach and pull. The more you can visualize this, the better. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale. And then take a moment, bend your knees to feel the body. I'm going to do that in the opposite direction. Let's see how that goes. So start with your oar in front of you. And inhale, draw back a little bit. And then exhale, push forwards. A bit counterintuitive. Inhale, come back about 45 degrees. Exhale, push forwards. And with the end of the exhale, come up to vertical. Inhale, come back. Exhale. Inhale, come back. Exhale. Let's take 3 more in your own time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the abdomen. Like yesterday, this is great for the abdominal organs. This is your last one. And take a moment to feel the body. So I'm sweating from that, which must be to do with the lights in the room or something, because it can't be that heating. Then we come to a different movement, which is working much more into the hips, or in a different way into the hips. So you're bringing your feet out as far as they'll go, your legs out. Really use your hands to separate your legs. If you really are slumping, then of course sit yourself up on a blanket or a block. And keep your toes pulling towards you, so there's a little bit of engagement of the legs. And I want you to imagine that let's imagine this is a huge big milk churn that we're making butter. You could use whatever analogy you like. And we're going to stir from the left big toe all the way around the front to the right big toe and then back again. You can even lean back. So taking a full circle, and you can feel this circling in the hips. You can feel your sitting bones. Keep breathing. The more mindful you are of every part of the movement. I'm feeling myself moving from sitting bone to sitting bone, from heel to heel. Hold of the upper body is swirling. So you're churning your butter. Maybe it's getting a little bit thicker in the churn. This is such a great movement. This is actually so liberating, this movement. Even if you're doing tiny ones, still getting a circling in the pelvis. Can you feel your spine stirring with your churning stick, whatever that might be called? Let's take a few more. Breathing fully. And it'd be fine and completely normal to feel a little bit obstructed, a little bit restricted in some of these movements. But that is, of course, is what we're doing. That's why it's called energy block release. And then slow it down. Slow it down. Notice the breath until you come to stillness. And we'll take that churning in the opposite direction. So I'm sure we're going to curdle our butter, or our milk, I mean. So we're going to come over to the right and then round to the left and then back again. So I should move around a bit because I can't lean back to the wall, but I'm really wanting you to pull all the way back if you can. There's obviously a risk here if you're very delicate in the lower back that this might be too much. So you just take little circles. You'll know what you need to do. That's what I love about Pawanmuktasana, is that I think they're very sympathetic movements. They allow you to simply feel into where is right for you at any given time. Let's take a few more, churning in this direction. Stirring it up. And then slowing it down, slightly smaller circles. And then take a moment to notice how you feel. Noticing the pelvis, the hips, and bringing your legs back together again, little way apart. So this series, this sequence is full of lots of visualizations. So now we're going to imagine a bell rope down in front of you. And you're going to reach up and you're going to pull the bell. Reach and pull and reach and pull and reach and pull. So really heavy bells. You're part of a world famous campanology team. I think that's what bell ringers are called. You're pulling that rope, you're pulling that bell. So you're really reaching and pulling it down. Take a few. The higher and the more you can reach, the more of the energy block you're going to release. Pulling that down, pulling that down, pulling it down. Maybe you can even hear the pealing of the bells. Maybe some of you are campanologists. I know it would be much slower than what I'm doing now. Hi, Teresa. So you've just joined us. And then taking a few more. Slowing it down. And taking a moment to see how you feel. Maybe a little bit fizzy. So the next exercises are interesting. I think they're quite challenging, actually. And it may be that for you, you need to hold on to the back of a chair for what we're about to do. Let me just show you. I'll come kind of sideways like this. If you can, you to squat, but you're not trying to bring your heels to the floor. And ideally, you'd squat with your hands on your knees. Now, if this is just completely unavailable to you, come to holding on to the edge of a chair, back of a chair or a sofa or something like that. And I would take your feet a little ways apart. So this is hard, I think. Let's see how we get on. I'm not fully confident myself with this movement. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, drop the left knee down towards the right foot and look over the right shoulder. So you're actually scrunching to the abdomen a bit. Breathe in, come back to neutral. And then breathe out, the right knee comes down to the left foot. Look over your left shoulder. A little bit of a balance going on. Let's just take a few of these, if you can find your own rhythm. So you breathe into the center. Breathe out, drop the knee as you twist a little. I'm falling over. Breathe into the center. Breathe out, drop the knee as you twist a little. Breathe into the center. Breathe out, drop the knee. So actually you can drop your knee to the floor if that's easier. I think I was being a bit too demanding. Otherwise the balancing is impossible. And it's hard, but feel what's going on in the abdomen here. Take a few more. And if you're standing at your chair, you could be dropping one knee in and twisting, dropping another knee in and twisting. So you still get the twist. It's more about the twist than anything else. Can you take 2 more to each side? And then take a moment to feel the body. You can take your fingers to the floor. And then the next pose might not be available for you. So I'm going to show you 2 options. No, actually, let's all try and do this. And then we'll all do the other option. Then you just see how you get on. So this pose, we're coming into a wide squat. Now this might be where you need to take something under your heels or just have your heels off the floor. And you might be quite high in your squat. If you can, you're going to place your hands together in front of the heart space and push your upper arms against your legs. You're really getting a nice opening across the groin. Take a few breaths here. So this is called the praying mantis. It's slightly unusual. And then you can interlace your hands with the 4 fingers pointing up and take a breath in and really brighten your heart. And on the breath out, and as you breathe in, come into the heart. As you breathe out, I'll do it sideways so you can see. As you breathe in, come into the heart. As you breathe into the heart. So what I'm also trying to do, if possible, is have the feet out to the side, and then try and bring your feet close to parallel as you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. breathe out. 2 more, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Whew, that's hard, isn't it? And then from here, coming up to a very loose forward fold. And take your feet quite far apart here. Take your feet quite far apart. And for a moment, hold on to your elbows and just dangle. Just dangle the body. Your knees can be soft. And again, what we're going to do is slightly unusual. You might find this quite lovely, you might not. I think this is the weirdest of all the Pawanmuktasana series. So if you can, you might need to bend your knees to do this. Hold on to your big toes. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, come all the way down. This is actually called gas releasing pose. Maybe for obvious reasons, breathe in, straighten up. And breathe out, squat down. So I'm bringing my feet to parallel as I come up to standing forward fold. And then taking my feet out, squat. Let's do 3 more, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. I can't remember how many I said breathing in. Let's make this the last one, breathing out. Take a moment to sit here. Coming to your breath, feeling the body. So it's like, this is very churny. Don't worry if you feel a little bit stirred up. We're coming to our last one, and then we'll come to very soothing breathing practice. So if you'd like to come up to standing, this is called chopping wood, and this is a lovely opportunity for you to make as much noise as you like. Some of you like that, some of you find it a bit odd, but don't worry. So you're going to hold your axe. You can hold it between both hands, you can interlace your hands. Feet are quite wide apart. You can really go for this, soften these, and really imagine that you're chopping wood. So you breathe in. Take the axe in between your legs and really roar that sigh out. Let's take 5 more, breathe in. Any frustration you have with anybody today or anything today, breathe out, breathe in. 3 more. Breathe in. Breathe in. 1 more, breathe in. And then come up to standing just for a moment, noticing how you feel. Noticing the quality of your breath. You might feel a little bit woozy. If you're feeling a little bit woozy, just stand here for a moment, steady the breath. Steady the breath. Before we come to breathing, I'd love to take one of my favourite parts of the series 2. We'll take sunflower pose. So if you'd like to come to lying on your back, bring the soles of your feet together so your knees are falling out to the side. And we'll start for a few moments, allowing the breath to settle. Hands can be on your belly or the front of the pelvis. And see how soft you can become as you come back into a little bit of stillness here after all that crazy breathing and movement and energy de-blocking. Noticing your breath. There was a lot going on in those, in that series with the hips. So I feel really almost quite fragile now, my inner thighs and hips. They feel like they've been kind of revved up a bit. I don't know about you. I want you to bring your arms down by your sides and press the outer side edges of your feet into the mat a bit. And we're going to come into 5 moving sunflowers, little back bends. So as you breathe in, lift your arms up and lift your pelvis up into the air. It doesn't need to come high. And as you breathe out slowly, bone by bone, bring your arms back with you. I'm bringing the plant with me. And then breathing and lifting up again. Find some kind of opening of the front body, should feel quite pleasant. And breathing out, come down, bone by bone. And then breathing in. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. And for this last one, you have the option of staying up if you want to, but you don't have to. Just for a few breaths, either staying up or coming down, or a combination of both. Really soften down the forehead, around the eyes. One more breath in. And then very gently lower the back down. Use your hands to bring in your knees. And bring your knees in towards you. And have a few little circles over your lower back. Soothing, soothing, soothing. Lovely massage for the sacrum, sacroiliac joint. Really feel it. And then you can take those circles in the opposite direction. Before we come up for a lovely breathing practice, if you'd like to take just a couple of moments to lie your whole body out, completely flat, feet and hands rocking out to the sides, just to notice how you feel. So this isn't a full Shavasana. What do you notice? And are you able to accept, to welcome what you notice? Are you able to breathe fully, openly, with curiosity? We're going to take 3 of the deepest breaths you've taken and use the exhalations to really flop. So take a full breath right down into the abdomen. And then a long breath out. Some people might have the mouth open. And then another full breath in. Long breath out. One more. Full breath in. And very gently, very slowly when you're ready, rolling yourself over and finding your favorite comfortable seat, either on a chair or on the floor, on a cushion. And we're going to take 3 variations on Bhramari pranayama. So this is B breath. So again, it involves a little bit of sound. For those of you who find that surprising, I hope that's not too surprising. And I love this breath for when I feel just too erratic in my mind or a bit too fizzed up in my body, which I actually think this series 3 has the potential of leaving us a little bit fizzy, a little bit unsettled. And this breath is a very spacious, soothing breath. And I'll talk us through it stage by stage. But first of all, we're back where we started. So coming back to finding the base of your body. Noticing the rest of the body. Maybe your eyes are closed. And noticing what it feels like to be breathed. Sitting here. Tips of your thumbs and forefingers lightly touching. Gentle reminder that our individual selves are part of something that far exceeds our skin boundary, for want of a better way of putting it. And we're going to start with the easiest form of bee breath. So bee breath is when we hum like a bee, and it's lovely for really bringing a space into the whole of the skull. So all we're going to do for this version is use our thumbs to close our ear flaps. So close it, I can't remember the technical name, but you close this flap of cartilage. When you do that, you have a sense of being locked in your head. So we're going to 6 times breathe in, and on the breath out, you close that ear flap and just take the rest of your fingers around your head and you go, that's all you're going to do. And you allow the hum to last the whole of the exhalation. So we do it 6 times, taking one breath in now. And at the end of your 6th exhalation, you can lower your hands, eyes closed, to simply notice how you feel after that first round. Notice your breath, sensations in the skull. And for the second round, you have the option of doing exactly the same thing, or taking Kachari Mudra, which is when you take the tip of your tongue to the top of the roof of your mouth. And for some people, that's just not a nice thing to do. And for other people, it just accentuates the experience of the bee breath, the bee humming. So if you'd like to take that 6 times, and then we'll see if we've got time for the last one. This might be our last one after all. Everything takes longer than I think. So taking a full breath in. And at the end of your 6th bee breath with Kachari Mudra, just releasing your tongue, releasing your hands. And that's all we've got time for. So before coming down to relaxation, can you simply observe how you feel now? The skull, inside and out. Sensations in the rest of your body. And the quality of your breath. And it may be that this has left you in a perfect state to remain in a seated meditation for as long as you like. It may be that it's time to come down and rest fully in a corpse pose, Shavasana. Make sure you're warm enough. If you're going to stay for the